25 years after the Beatles' breakup, many fans had resigned themselves to the idea that no new material would ever emerge, particularly following John Lennon's death in 1980. Yet against all expectations, a series of unusual events allowed not one, but two new Beatles tracks to come to life. In the mid-1990s, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr reunited to record fresh songs for their ambitious multimedia anthology project. The process was unusual from the outset. Lennon was absent, yet his influence lingered, as the surviving members worked from demo tapes provided by his widow, Yoko Ono. For the trio, it felt unsettling to be creating as only 3/4 of the Fab Four, and the experience grew even stranger as unexplained phenomena began surfacing in the studio during the production of one particular song. Reports from onhike.com note that while working on Free as a Bird in 1995, the band sensed Lennon's presence. McCartney later described the atmosphere as eerie, explaining that there had been unexplained noises and odd malfunctions with equipment. The overall impression, he admitted, was as if Lennon himself was nearby. A year later, when they turned to Real Love, McCartney claimed the late Beatle seemed to make his presence felt once more. The group had decided to add a humorous backward recording at the end of the single, intended as a playful puzzle for devoted fans. While listening back in the studio, however, McCartney said the strange sound unexpectedly resolved into something that resembled Lennon's name, which they interpreted as a sign of approval from their absent bandmate. The peculiar occurrences continued outside the studio as well. After completing both songs, the group gathered for a photograph. At the last moment, a rare white peacock wandered into the frame. McCartney interpreted the bird's sudden appearance as more than coincidence. To him, it felt like Lennon had made a physical manifestation. He remarked to those present that it seemed as though John was hanging around, lending a ghostly presence to the sessions. That symbolism resonated even more strongly when viewed alongside a story Lennon once shared with his son Julian. That if he ever needed to reassure him after death, he would send a white feather. The appearance of the white peacock seemed to echo that promise. Throughout much of the project, however, the surviving Beatles preferred to think of Lennon not as gone, but simply away. McCartney later explained that he imagined a scenario in which Lennon had gone on holiday and had called to ask his bandmates to finish the songs from a cassette he had entrusted to them. According to McCartney, he told Harrison and Starr about this mental picture, and Ringo in particular found comfort in the idea, calling it a touching and reverent way to honor their late friend. For the trio, using Lennon's demos as the foundation for the new tracks gave them the feeling that he was recording alongside them once more. McCartney later reflected in a behind-the-scenes video that working on Free as a Bird was deeply moving and represented a significant moment in their shared history.